Hello everyone, welcome to another iRacing video, and it's a little bit different today because I'm going to try and answer one of the questions that I always find myself asking whenever I see a big wreck when I'm watching sim racing on YouTube. It always baffles me when I see these multi-car pile-ups before you even reach turn 1. I mean, in the first corner I can understand it, space is tight and you're jostling for position, but on the straight I can just never get my head around how much carnage can be caused. So for today's iRacing instalment, we've entered the Ferrari Fixed Challenge race at Suzuka. It's week 12, the final week of the season in iRacing, and you've probably already seen by now that this video is quite a bit shorter than my usual. So that's a pretty good indicator that something goes very, very wrong here. We're not even going to make it to turn 1, and in fact, only 6 cars do, so on a grid of 20, that means 14 cars are involved in this wreck. Now, we've been given the number 19 plate, and as you can see on screen, we've qualified towards the back of the grid. We're certainly not going to be competitive here. We just haven't got the pace to match the majority on the grid. So with that in mind, my plan was just to keep my nose clean, stay out of trouble, and hopefully gain some safety rating. But as you're about to see, those plans were left in tatters. I really did try my hardest to slow down, avoid all the carnage and get through safely, and just when I thought I'd managed it, I got tagged. We can see from the replay the levels of carnage. This was absolute mayhem. There are cars going everywhere. I'm at the back, carefully weaving my way through, and just when I think I've got my path to freedom, you can see I get tagged there, and it sends me flying backwards into the pit lane wall. So whether I'm involved in it or whether I watch it on YouTube, I always find myself asking the same question after an incident like this. Why do people find it so hard to drive in a straight line? It's a really long start-finish straight here, so all you need to do is drive in a straight line and keep a safe distance to the car nearest you. If you do those two things, you're okay. So what went so drastically wrong in this race? Well, to get the answer to that question, we've got to go to the front row. Keep your eye on the number 4 car, Blake Dalton. He's alongside the pole position man in a moto, and he suddenly decides to switch lines. I'm assuming that he didn't know that the number 1 car of Cameron Norris was already there, but that was the contact that causes the complete and utter chaos we see in the background. Only 4 cars managed to avoid it, and 2 more weave through the wreckage, but for the rest, race over. Let's watch it again from the chopper cannon. I'm going to freeze the action here because we can see at this point there's no danger. Inamoto's out in front on the inside line, and Dalton is in clear space in second on the wide line. Right behind them is Norris in third, and he's exactly where he should be, on the inside line again, as per his grid position. And if everything stays like this on the approach to T1, we've got no issues at all, but I'm going to restart the footage where we'll see Dalton make the ultimately doomed decision to try and tuck in behind the pole position man. However, Norris was already occupying the space, the contact was inevitable, and there's the result. 14 drivers involved in the pile-up. On board with Norris now, and we do see the pole position man dab his brakes just there, and I'm really not sure why, because he's got a clear track in front of him. So that, combined with Dalton trying to tuck into a gap that was just too small, is what caused this almighty wreck. So that was how my final season of 2021 in iRacing ended. To be fair, the standard of racing here this season has been really good, so I certainly can't grumble at getting a race like this. It was always going to happen at some point. And if we take a quick glance at the classified results, you'll see we did get back on track and ended up finishing 14th. That was after a 3.5 minute tow back to the pits. And certainly no grudges held against Blake Dalton either. Blake was the first to come on to the voice chat as soon as that incident had taken place to offer his sincerest apologies. It was an honest mistake and it could happen to anyone, and let's face it, we've all done it, right?
got some damage. Let's get that fixed.